Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I just told you how I personally invested in the stock market in late September. Well, now we're in late October and student loans are truly going to impact the stock market even more. If you are just tuning in for the first time, my name is Festus. I am one of the best YouTubers on the planet when it comes to financial content because I give you real life stuff that I actually invest in. I talk about stocks, I talk about real estates, I talk about bonds, I talk about government contracting, I talk about different types of businesses from music to books. Whatever it is that I personally do, I will talk about and I will give that to you. I am not a fitness coach, so I don't talk about fitness. I am out of the singles department, so I'm not currently talking about women. But whatever I personally do, I talk about and I give that to you because I know what it is to listen to people who may not have gone through the same experiences. All I do is take advice and work with those who actually do the work. So if you're listening to me, it's because you either know I have been doing the work or you know that you want to be in that same type of atmosphere. And so again, please leave a like, please comment, please subscribe before we get into this video. And I truly appreciate it. So with that being said, um, how student loans are going to impact the market. Now we all know that in late September, the stock market had dropped by more than 400 basis points. It was the biggest drop all year in 2023. Now we're in late October of 2023, and I'm telling you that there will be another big drop in December. Why am I saying that? Because December has historically been when the stock market drops the most. I think it is mainly due to Christmas, mainly due to all that travel and back spending, mainly due to a lot of other things. Now in October, I truly believe that people had to pull out of their retirement accounts. I truly believe that people had to pull out of their 401ks. I truly believe that people had to, liquidate their assets in order to pay for their expenses and keep up. And I truly believe that in December, it will be the straw that breaks the camel's back, giving out these little gifts, taking out more credit card debt, all these little things, you know. And now that we're out and about, we're no longer locked in. We're subject to all the dangers of the world, getting sick, getting that medical bill at a hospital that we just simply can't afford. All that stuff that needs to be paid, certain things will just have to be let go and set to the side if we're not budgeting correctly, if we're not doing what we're supposed to do. So student loans now being active and now kicking in is just another thing to keep people down. 63% of people state that they will not pay their student loans. So for the 37% that do, that's still a huge number of people who are going to be impacted by this. 37% of people who intend to pay their student loans, and it's going to be more than that because we know that there are people who are going to succumb to the pressure. They're not going to want to be back billed. They're not going to want additional interest on their loans. And so they're going to do what they need to do in order to pay that off, which means they're going to have to sacrifice more of their personal life. They're not going to be able to travel as much. They're not going to be able to do what they used to do pre-pandemic. So that is why there are so many factors why I believe student loans are going to impact the stock market. But as a side note, but still very relevant to the conversation, student loans is also going to impact the housing market. You see, there were so many people who were buying property, especially when I was a refinance lender. They were buying property, not accounting for their student loans, right? They were maximizing their loan amounts. They were maximizing the values of their homes. When they said they had student loans, it was suspended, so we could just wipe it off. We didn't have to account for it as a mortgage lender. Imagine wiping off $1,000 in student loans. Imagine wiping off all these car payments that were suspended. Imagine wiping off all these things that even Chase Bank, a big bank like that, was doing. These banks are going to be hit even harder. even harder because of student loans. And I'm just now realizing this as I'm making the video. So you and me both are understanding this real time, because I didn't realize like all these banks that are already going down, and I already talked about selling my Bank of America and my Citibank stock. Well, now we have Chase Bank that I still have a lot of holdings of, not only in my 401k, but in my individual stock market account, which might take a beating soon. Those banks are going to be in even worse position when people are not able to pay that mortgage because the government is on them. Maybe they pay the government first and they still intended to pay their mortgage, but they slip back, they miss a payment. Now they're not as creditworthy, and Chase has to report that. Maybe they pay Chase first and then they don't pay the government. Now they have a higher interest rate. So now they have to start paying the government first because they're scared and they're getting all these bills, but they're also at a point where, oh my goodness, I might lose my home. Now, guess what? Here's the scariest part. What if, and I don't think that this is going to happen, especially not in 2024, but what if homes lose so much value that people just say, you know what, I'm going to let it go. I didn't gain anything by purchasing this house. I didn't gain any equity. Then I'm just selling all my bank stocks at that point. Trust and believe that. Because no one is safe at that point. No one would be safe at that point. And again, I don't believe that that will happen. I don't believe that prices of real estate will go down so much that the banks will have to foot the bill. What I do believe is that they will stay relatively flat because people can't afford the homes. What I do believe is that there are going to be some people who are more interested in keeping their interest rate and are unable to buy something bigger and better. And so they're going to be stuck in their homes. And then when interest rates finally do go down, we'll see more demand hit the market. We'll see a little bit of cheaper prices, but we'll also see a whole lot more activity and a whole lot more people able to buy. That is my personal belief in the real estate market. But yes, people are going to have to make a decision. Do I pay the mortgage or do I pay the student loans? And I believe most people will choose their mortgage because right now, the way that we were buying houses, it was looking like a hot commodity. It was looking like the best thing on the planet. So because of that, people are going to cherish it a little bit more. They're going to cherish that interest rate a little bit more. They're going to cherish their residence a little bit more. And I believe that people will focus more on paying for the property rather than paying off the student loan. So we're going to see a lot of defaults on student loans, more than we've ever seen in the history of America, especially because some of them were promised that some of the student loans would be eradicated and be taken back by the government. So for example, when President Biden stated that he would remove at least $10,000 of student loan debt, I saw so many people posting it on social media. Hey, sign up here. Hey, make sure you get this done, right? And because of that, you know, I won't lie to you. I didn't feel good knowing that I paid well over $20,000+ in student loans myself. I didn't have any student loans, but I paid my debts as they came so that I wouldn't have student loans. And so me being a responsible young man and struggling throughout school and working and not having the best grades because I didn't want to have student loan debt, it felt like a slap in the face for someone to just say, hey, I have my hand out, pay my stuff off. No, absolutely not. And so we all, I know from experience, I went through college. We all have the ability to pay off our debts that we took out. Yes, we may have been young. Yes, we may not have studied what we wanted to study, or what we want to study now, but it was still our decision yet again. Whether someone forced us to or not, claimed they would kick us out of the house, doesn't really matter what your circumstances were. It is your debt to pay. So again, if you like this video, please make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and on Rebel. and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.